Hello, my name is Mo Ibrahim to talk about Africa and climate change as we approach COP27, which will be in Africa. I really want to make just 3 points. The first one is about Africa's specific vulnerability to climate impact. Second point is about Africa's specific situation regarding energy. The third point is Africa specific potential for a global green economy. Let me start with Africa specific vulnerability to the climate impact. From the outset, it's clear, absolutely clear, that African did not put this stuff up there. The average African today emits less than 2% of the average citizen in a rich country, developed country. 50 times. That's what's happening today. Forget about the past 3 or 4 centuries of industrialization. You can measure the development of any country by the amount of carbon they put out there. The correlation is there. However, Africa suffers more. The unfortunate thing about this climate problem is that it doesn't know borders. The people affected with the change are not necessarily the people who emitting the carbon. It doesn't know. Climate doesn't know border. It has no borders. It does not recognize borders, and just like Corona anyway. So here we have this problem, and the most 10 affected country, the most 10 vulnerable countries in the world to climate change are all Africans. So we have a major problem there. Now, we have also countries with low resilience. And low resilience means climate change is damaging the ability of these countries to really try to mitigate. And it becomes a vicious circle. Not only the material degradation of infrastructure of the country, but the social upheaval created by internal migration and inter-community conflict, illegal migration can be a result, instability. And this is a major problem facing Africa. Africa is very vulnerable and suffering from this climate change. The second point I wish to make is about the energy, the specific issue about energy in Africa. There is one dreadful number, I'm going to mention it now, that 600 million of our people don't have access to power. 600 million people. Imagine if you can live one day without power. Those people living 365 days a year without power. Without power, there is no business, there is no education, there is no health, there is no development. Those people need power. This is something really important and essential for them. We cannot talk about development without power. Now, Africa has a lot of gas. And actually half of the African gas goes to Europe. Africans need gas to support renewables as a transition to the green economy, which is everybody is doing, which actually is the official policy of the European Union. That's all what we need to do. People need to understand that there is no development of Africa without power. And yes, renewal everywhere. Actually, more than 20 African countries rely mainly on renewables for their energy supply. That is more than any continent in the world. We are doing much more than anybody about renewal. So we love renewal and we do renewals. But it's not enough. We need gas as a transition. And that has to be clear and understood. Besides that, there is another major problem. 900 million Africans use at home unclean cooking, wood pellets and coal, stuff like that, which is very damaging to the health of people, mainly women, and also is very polluting. Those people need to have clean cooking. People need to understand that as well. So the issue of power for Africa is a matter of health, of actually less carbon, and a matter of development too. People need to understand these needs in Africa. We have half of our population without power, and this is not sustainable. My third and last point is about the green economy and African contribution, the African contribution to the green economy. Now, Africa is not only the lowest emitter in the world, which is wonderful, but actually it is the second largest sinker of carbon because of the sinking capacity we have in the delta of the Congo, our forests. And actually, when you take that into account, we are almost carbon neutral. We are not emitting anything because we're sinking so much. That is good news. Second one is that the mineral wealth of Africa, most of the minerals which are essential for the green economy exist in Africa in abundance. And from copper to lithium to manganese to platinum, we have the raw materials really essential for development of our green economy and the world green economy. And Africa also make use of hydropower. We have solar, and already large projects are taking place. Some of them actually intended to supply Europe with power. So Africa can play a major role really in building the green economy. So what we need is to understand these three main issues about Africa. There are all specific issues about Africa and the global crisis created by the climate change, what Africa needs to do and what others need to do. And I hope the pledges made by the rich countries to atone for the sins, past and current, do materialize. Till now, the pledges did not take place, which is very sad.